get your taxes won.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. Mel's in studio.
Good morning.
Hyundai of Yuma, they're advertisers on the show. And you need to go over there to test drive the new cars. And yeah, they still have some. All cars are suffering. They'd like more, but they do have them. And America's best warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles, 10 years, 100. That goes for the Hyundais, the Kias, which are sister companies to that veteran-owned business over there on Pacific Avenue, and the Genesis, which are on the same lot as the others. Get over here, take a test drive, tell them I said hello, or just, act angry. Tell them you're insulted. And then let me know about it so I can call them up.
There you go.
Yeah. In the news this morning, let's see, there's still a lot. Some of it is outrageous. We've become so political. It's kind of,
Yeah.
Everything's about politics. Nothing's about right and wrong anymore. It's, are you following my narrative, and we're going to cancel you. Before I get into that, let me take a phone call. You're on the air.
Well, I presume you're going to talk somewhat about the Rittenhouse trial.
I was going to get there. I was waiting on you, though.
Yeah, well, you did a good job. Yeah, there's some really interesting developments that have happened. Of course, the jury has been sent out to deliberate, and they deliberated almost all of yesterday, and then they came out and said they were done for the day.
Right.
And then there's some rumors floating about. I think it's just a rumor. I don't see any evidence that this is true, but a rumor is floating about that a couple of jurors are saying, well, we can't find a verdict right away, but we got to wait a little bit at least to try to prevent riots.
I don't doubt that's the case. They're outside chanting. They all know it. They know they're there. They're intimidating. And according to some, that's going to create a mistrial, possibly.
Yeah, well, it could be true, but we don't know because I haven't seen any attribution other than, I think, Jack Probasek, saying that he got word from a U.S. Marshal. It's a state trial.
Yeah.
Why would a U.S. Marshal know anything more than anybody else? I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't be true. We just don't know, I don't think, not with any reasonable assurance.
No, they've got 500 National Guard there waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Evers has to try to be dramatic. I mean, that could be considered another form of intimidation to the jurors if they knew. I don't know if they know or not. They probably shouldn't know. But what the defense filed a motion that the trial be dismissed with prejudice,
right?
Which means that none of the charges could be brought again. And there is some serious information in their motion that was not brought out before. They are claiming that the drone video, that sort of magical evidence, that the evidence Ferry dropped off with the prosecution just a few days before the end of the trial,
right?
That when they were given their version of the video, it had only 1/4 of the resolution that the state version had.
I wonder why.
That's a pretty big deal because the defense is supposed to get the same evidence as the state has.
Right.
It's illegal to withhold it, and if you give them a version that is significantly degraded in a video, you're trying to shade things. You're trying to stack the deck. So
this whole prosecution's been acting like they wanted to throw the case.
It does look that way to me.
Yeah.
And I think then the other thing, and I don't know if you watched the closing arguments, took quite a while, but the prosecutor Cruz gave the rebuttal. That's the last word, so to speak. And he took most of an hour, which is an outrageous long time for a rebuttal. And basically, he put out a couple of claims about the law that were just flat out wrong.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the clips.
Yeah, where he said everybody has to take a beating or something like that, and I'm going, no, that's not true.
and if you bring a gun and you're the only one with one, you have an obligation not to use it.
Yeah, and I'm going, no, that's not true either.
Yeah,
and
none of it. I mean,
the defense did not object, and I think you're given quite a bit of latitude on the closing. But I have to say that I read Alan Dershowitz, and he said, no, you can't make false claims about the law in the closing. And
right.
He said those are just not correct. And it would also explain somewhat why the jury would be asking for instructions, especially dealing with self-defense, because what the prosecutor put in at closing just doesn't match the judge's jury instructions.
And apparently, according to others, they said that the judge's, instructions were very hard to understand. Dershowitz said, look, he's been teaching law for a long time. He didn't understand the closing from the judge.
No, I made the comment today to somebody else, I've been studying self-defense law for, 40 years. And I thought those instructions were extremely hard to understand. And in the judge's defense, in Judge Schroeder's defense, he said, and I think he's correct, that this was the most complicated case he's had in his courtroom in 40 years.
Yeah.
And it is a very, very complicated. It's made complicated specifically by the prosecutor overcharging on so many different counts.
Probably.
That's what I would say has made it complicated. And their inclusion of the count of the weapons, supposed weapons violation, which was never a violation. I mean, you put things like that in there, things get more complicated. Now, there's two other things about the weapons violation that I think you might find interesting. And one is that I think it's PolitiFact, so-called fact checker. After the judge dismissed the weapons violation, somebody said, well, don't you have to change your ruling because you said that it was false when somebody told you that it was perfectly legal for Kyle Rittenhouse to have the rifle? And they said, no, it's really kind of a gray area in the law. So when they said perfectly legal, we still hold that as false.
I read that about Politico, and yet if Politico is the final word, I guess. I guess the fact checker is the final word, and that if the fact checker says it, then they all have cover, and they'll kick you off social media if you don't agree with the fact checkers.
It's just insane because, of course, these fact checkers are anything but impartial.
Right.
Yeah,
they have a very strong bias in favor of the left. And then, let's see, the other thing about the weapons charge, and I don't see anybody else talking about this. I have an article at AMOLED, it'll probably be published today, is that, remember Dominic Black, Kyle Rittenhouse's friend?
Yeah.
He was one of the first witnesses called. And he is charged with 2 felonies for providing a dangerous weapon to a person under the age of 18, which resulted in the person under 18 discharging the weapon and somebody dying as a result. Those felonies have penalties of up to 6 years in prison each. And the presiding judge in his trial, which is scheduled for January, happens to be Judge Bruce Schroeder. So Judge Schroeder just dismissed the charges, weapons charges on Kyle Rittenhouse. I think, he'll have a hard time keeping charges against Dominic Black when the charges are about something that didn't happen.
Right. He's going to have to drop those charges too.
He'll have to. I don't see how he avoids it.
Right.
But they aren't making a big deal of it yet because, of course, they want this trial to get done and finished. And if the prosecutors are smart, which they have not shown any evidence that they're willing to be smart, what they would do is they would, after the trial, they would file a motion, or say, we're dismissing charges against Dominic Black. Because they don't have anything anymore. There's nothing there.
That doesn't seem to matter.
It doesn't matter, though, does it?
It doesn't seem to matter.
There was never anything there to start with.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I'm saying that they are not smart. And then, of course, Dominic Black's attorney, and I would say wait a couple of days until the trial is over, should file a motion to dismiss the charges on the basis that there's nothing there. You can't illegally give a weapon to somebody when it was found it wasn't illegal to give a weapon to them.
That's right.
You know, and the defense, the exception, is in exactly the same subsection of the law as Kyle Rittenhouse's was relied upon by the judge. They're in the same subsection. One says, you know, this does not apply to people under the age of 18 if it's a rifle or shotgun. I'm simplifying slightly, but that's essentially what it says.
This is all...
And then one below it says, the charge of supplying, you know, a dangerous weapon to somebody and then the increased penalty if somebody dies, does not apply to if the weapon is supplied to somebody under the 18 if it's a rifle shot. You know, so
this whole thing has
pretty
been
clear.
It's just been politics. It's been personal destruction.
It has been. This is exactly what I see, and it's sad because you just don't want to see the American judicial system degraded in this way.
Right.
And that in a large parts of the country, mainly in urban centers.
When you speak of degrading, the worse than the judicial system has been the media. They come with out-and-out lies about Rittenhouse regularly, daily. White supremacy.
Absolutely.
Shot 60 rounds.
But they do that in everything, Russ. The media has totally lost direction.
This was attacking a teenager that was self-defense.
Yeah.
And I hope he sues them.
I hope so, too.
Yeah.
And he might. I think he has a pretty good case because they just spewed. I mean, you know, it was pretty clear in the first week that these weapons charges were bogus.
Yeah.
And if you look at the conduct of Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger in the case, it's obvious from his conduct in the courtroom he doesn't have any clue about firearms.
No.
He's totally unfamiliar with them. He doesn't know anything about ammunition or firearms technology. And it appears he has almost no understanding of firearms law in Wisconsin.
But he knows when the bullet comes out because he pointed it at everybody.
Yeah, he knows that, and he knows the result he wants to get.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to get a conviction. And the prosecutors in the U.S. system are not supposed to be focused on getting convictions. They're supposed to be focused on getting justice. There's a big difference.
Yeah, well, that's a theory, but they all love their record of, whatever.
Well, that's right, but it used to be, and I have people who were in the system that I know, 40, 50 years ago.
They were more justice than just
prosecuting. One of the prosecutor's job is to filter arrests and filter prosecutions so that only the ones that really promote justice go through.
Right.
And I've had people who were law officers back then said that it was not uncommon for prosecutors to say, no, this isn't worth prosecuting, we're not going to do it.
Right. Well, they're actually following a different narrative. They're doing something different.
Absolutely.
This is about supporting a political claimant. But
exactly.
And nobody knows this, but a lot of people, trying to make a prediction about what the jury, which nobody knows. But they weren't surprised. Nobody was surprised it didn't get done yesterday just because of the jury instructions and all that stuff. But
exactly. I wasn't very surprised because it's a very complicated case. And the jury instructions were very difficult to follow, and there's 34 pages of them.
Yeah, and they only gave the jury one copy, so they had to come back and say, "Can we have 11 more?"
Yeah. I saw it.
So we don't have to share it.
I'm not really surprised. I mean, because I don't really blame Judge Schroeder on this because he's the arbiter, between two competing sides.
Yeah.
The defense wanted certain things. The prosecution wanted certain things. He had limits on his ability to just craft separate instructions for this case because Wisconsin, as in many states now, has pre-created jury instructions for each offense.
Dershowitz talked about that. He said the judge still has the opportunity to dismiss those and rewrite them, but that was Dershowitz yesterday.
Well, but the problem is if you do that, you open yourself up for appeal.
Possibly.
Because why'd you do that?
When you didn't.
And they appeal it. And one of the things I've observed with Judge Bruce Schroeder, and I'm pretty much a fan, is that he's very carefully worked to avoid grounds for appeal.
Well, hopefully,
I don't think he's been entirely successful, but he's really tried to be on the straight and narrow and get a case through that isn't totally messed up.
Well, hopefully they get this thing all wrapped up today. The riots start and they shut those down because they're not wearing masks. And
yeah, hopefully. Well, you have a good day. We'll see what happens.
Thank you, sir. You take care.
Take care.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with those things.
The whole thing has been a jungle thing from the start.
But when it's a jury,
you don't know.
You can't handicap that too much.
By the way, something else that I don't recall ever seeing or hearing about before was the case where the defendant had to reach into a thing and pull out the names of the juries.
I never did either, but apparently nobody who knew who the alternate was. They had just 18.
They had 18 jurors, 6 alternates, and 12.
But no one knew who it was. They didn't find out until after, ready to go to.
I thought that was named. They were named ahead of time.
I'd state by state, I imagine. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Morning, Russ. This is the old banker.
Hey, Banker Bruce, what's happening, man?
Well, I thought I'd call and tell you that recently I was in the grocery store and I was standing in line and this clerk came along and said, if you go through the scan and go line, you could save a lot of time by scanning your own items.
Right.
And
if you have that technical skill.
I said, well, do I get an employee discount when I do that? She said, no. I said, I think I'll stay right here.
Yeah,
So yesterday, I was in Wendy's, and they've been advertising that their fries were every bit as good as McDonald's, so I thought I'd try them out and see if that was true. And I went in, and I asked the kid behind the counter, I said, I'd like a large order of fries. And he said, you have to use one of those 2 kiosks that's in the lobby there to place your order. We don't have cashiers anymore.
Oh, my gosh, really? I didn't know they did that.
They're pushing it. There's a lot of places that are pushing. They're all pushing for this cashless nonsense.
Yeah.
A lot of people are.
Wow.
I said, I'm almost 80 years old, and I'm electronically challenged. I don't know how in the hell to use your stupid kiosk.
Well, you're just going to have to go through the drive-through.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yep. I struck a blow for the working man. I went through the drive-through.
Yeah.
So this stuff is just getting nuts. But the thing is, in either case, their product isn't any lower for you replacing one of their employees.
Oh no, I think it's higher.
No.
I do too.
They had to pay for the kiosk, man.
Yeah. Well, I know I get my medical through the Veterans Administration, and whenever you go in to check in for your appointment, you have to go to a kiosk and type in all your information and So there you go, replace another human being.
Yeah. It's coming rapidly because of all these minimum wage, livable wage, and a lot of guys are going to robots, man.
Oh, you bet.
Faster than they would have otherwise.
If they pass that $15 minimum wage, you see a lot more kiosks too.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I want the voice one though, the voice activated and recognition, so I can just take my Tesla there and say, hey, take me to McDonald's, and it just takes me there, and then just tell the robot, give me a cup of coffee.
It's coming, bud.
Yeah,
it's coming.
And now, if I could just find a blonde robot.
Well, I think it's available, buddy. We'll see. Take care. Bye.
Okay, you guys have a good day.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah, I didn't know they made them mandatory any place.
There's a lot of places where you either have a credit card or you don't buy.
Well, this was a kiosk too where you don't even get a cashier to scan. You scan all your own stuff.
Yeah, scan your own stuff. Yeah, That's been for some time. They have you have your choice at some stores, but the thing is you'll have 40 people in line and only one actual cashier. So you're all in line to go through the self-checkout thing. They're trying to funnel you into that.
Now, do you prefer the self-checkout or the cashier?
It depends on how much I've got with me, quite frankly. If it's just one, 6 or 7 items, no problem. We're going through the self.
It's fast. It's quick.
Yeah. But if I got a basket full of stuff, plus then you got somebody there to bag it up for you too, which makes it a lot easier. So, but I say it's. I prefer the old system. I'm sorry. It just goes with being 78 years old, I guess. Hey, real quick, before we go to something else, real quick, I want to shout out, today is my sister, Catherine. She's over in Tucson. She listens quite often. Today is her birthday.
My goodness, happy birthday.
So, Kathy, if you're not listening, Cindy, I'm sure that you are. Tell Catherine I did not forget.
Wow. Okay? And that's a lot for Mel.
That's a lot.
To not forget.
For me to remember is amazing anymore.
Good for Mel. We'll play a little bit of happy birthday song. That's all we got, Mel. That's it. That's all I can give her.
Whatever works.
Well, good for Kathy. We'll be right back. AM 560.
The sun is shining, the temperatures are mild, and it stays like that the rest of the week. Some high clouds today, 83 this afternoon, mid-50s overnight, 84 the high tomorrow.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Sponsored by Sanofi Pasteur.
I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
In today's Farm and Ranch headlines from AgNet West, during the first year of the program, the U.S. Cotton Trust Protocol has made significant progress. More on the Trust Protocol after this.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food.
You're going to need our determination and passion.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring.
And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Today, 4-H is growing the next generation of leaders. Support us at 4h.org.
AgNet West Radio Network, your trusted agriculture news provider for the state of Arizona, bringing local, statewide, and national headline news right to you on this radio station. Let our team of Danielle Leal,
budget revisions put surplus to good use for agriculture,
and Brian German,
Salmonella outbreak report points to adjacent land use.
Keep you informed here, weekdays over the radio airways, on our Farm City Newsday podcast, or online at agnetwest.com.
The U.S. Cotton Trust Protocol brings quantifiable and verifiable goals and measurement to sustainable cotton production and drives continuous improvement in key sustainability metrics. In its first year, the Trust Protocol welcomed more than 465 brand, retailer, mill, and manufacturer members and secured 950,000 bales of cotton into the system. The initiative also launched the Protocol Consumption Management Solution, which enables the Trust Protocol to offer transparency and visibility of cotton through the supply chain, which is backed by independently verified data from growers. Recognizing the growing importance of increased supply chain visibility, the PCMS uses combined power of the Protocol platform and Textile Genesis to provide members the world's first sustainable cotton fiber to offer article-level transparency across the supply chain. I'm Brian German for AgNet West Radio Network.
The holiday season has arrived. For businesses, the 10 busiest days of the holiday season are predicted to be Black Friday, the day after Black Friday, December 4th, the second Saturday in December, Super Saturday, December 18th, Sunday before Christmas, Tuesday before Christmas, December 23rd, the day after Christmas. Your business needs to be talking to people now to capture your share of the holiday market. Don't wait and have it pass you by. This year, learn how to communicate effectively this holiday season at yumaadvertising.com.
Time for some smart saving. Give the gift that lights up their future.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. This holiday season, give the gift of education by opening an AZ 529 education savings plan. You can invest with as little as $15 a month, and anyone can give. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anyone. Visit az529.gov today and give the present of a brighter future.
Now that's smart saving.
Buying for a business? Let Batteries Plus be your partner. Whether you have one location or many, you'll find solutions for all of your battery, lighting, phone, and tablet repair needs, plus volume discounts and more. Sign up for a free business account at batteriesplus.com/business. Batteries Plus.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark back with you. Mel's in studio.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
And we do have a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, happy hump day.
Hey, it is, Mr. Carl. How are you?
Hump day, yeah. I'm so excited about hump day. I'm going to the dunes.
I think you should.
And I do too. You know, my 2 cents for hump day.
What's that?
Is these people have been talking about this AR-15 as an assault rifle.
Yeah.
It is not. It is a defense rifle. I was watching them videos on all these rioters and all these AR-15s standing out there. If there'd have been an assault rifle, there'd have been a lot of people up in the morgue that day.
Yeah.
But it's a defense rifle because one young man, he uses that piece of equipment to defend his life 3 times. So he wasn't assaulting that man, he was defending himself.
I agree with you. I don't know that some of these commentators do, but listening to them, he was an evil, evil man for owning it, for going across state lines, for not putting it down when he realized the other person didn't have a gun. It was just ridiculous stuff is being said.
Well, it's Sal Alinsky's rules for radicals. Russ, you know that. So. Anytime anybody come and mirror you with a skateboard, you're not going to let him hit you with it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, but that's what they call self-defense. On those rioters, Russ, I would use me a water cannon. What would you use?
I would use the National Guard in handcuffs.
Well, I could do it with one person. You got to need a whole damn battalion.
I don't care. I want them fingerprinted and I want them held. I want to know who they are. I don't want to just wash them down the drain.
Something that finalizes the situation to where you know what's going on and who's involved.
How long has this been going on? And it's not been finalized. They're letting them do it.
That's because they are letting them do it, and because they're not letting the Guard and these other law enforcement agencies do their jobs. They're not holding them back from doing their job.
They didn't use a water can on the insurrection guys. They locked them up, and that's what they should do to these guys. Lock them up.
Exactly right.
The water cannons, all that is a bath. Some of them may need it, but it's
exactly right.
With the National Guard, to me, it would be a thump on the head with a stick. Because the National Guard aren't going to stand and say, "Okay, guys, you go on home." They're going to have to thump their heads for them.
Well, if they're smart, they don't require that. But I'm telling you, they should be corralled, locked up, get their identification,
right?
Find out who they are, get them before the judge, buddy. Let Camilla Harris bail them out.
Yeah, but you make it real easy, Russ. You just go soak them down, and then you get the wet ones.
You go right ahead, soak them down, buddy.
I'll soak them down, and you can write them up.
All right. You take
Have a good day, Russ.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care, Carl.
Water cannon, Carl. He loves that thing.
Well,
we should buy him a small one.
He probably has a small one already.
He might have. Hey, my brother pointed something out to me. You know, he lives in Yuma now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's over there by that Walmart on 8th Street and Avenue B.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they have no cashiers. They're strictly self-checkout. And I've been in there, but he's right, they are.
Oh, he's talking about the grocery store.
The grocery store.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. If you go through there, and there are some of them that don't take cash. Some of there are machines there that it tells you card only.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't live very far from. I use that once in a great while. I'll stop there for one or two small items.
Let's say hello to Gilbert. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing well.
you remember the movie back in late 70s, the early 80s, Death Wish 2 with Charles Bronson?
Yes.
That's kind of what we got going on right now. Criminals that get away with pretty much whatever they want to get away with, corrupt politicians, and if, the citizen uses a firearm to defend his life or property, well, and shows up the police officers just doing their job to take the gun away.
It's surreal. It's upside down. I'd forgotten about that, but the Death Wish 2, but it's the villain in the country, according to the liberals now, is the person that stands for justice.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a great
Thanks,
day,
man.
and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you for the call. Bye-bye. That wasn't Gilbert, by the way.
No.
Because he texted me, asked me if it was his turn. But he's not quick on the dial. You're on the air.
I am this time.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Is that Mel there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You sound good, brother Mel. You sound really good.
Well,
praise God.
Feeling much better, too. Yeah. So thank you.
Praise the good Lord in heaven for blessing you with some help. Oh, man. Well, you know what? Me and my brother Carl, we think a lot alike. Except for me, I would do what the Japanese do. They put dye in that water.
Good.
And they spray it, and that they catch the ones that have the dye.
Yeah, let's make a rainbow. Rainbow.
Oh, there will be a lot of people loving you for that, Russ.
There we go, man.
Anyway, what I want to call about is our meeting tomorrow. Kerry Lake's going to be at our meeting. We have Kevin Thompson. We also have Nick Myers. They'll be there. And Miss Owens, I forget her first name, Kim Owens. She'll also be there. All three of them are with Corporate Commission. They'll be speaking at us. We'll have some information on this redistricting. Our Arizona representative, Tim Dunn, will be there to talk about it a little bit towards the end. We'll also be talking about the BBB project. I'll be getting some more information on that. We got a full schedule tomorrow, and people need to come in to see what's going on, so we can have a governor that will call the National Guard. We need governors, we need Arizona representatives that will stand behind our governor when she pulls that trigger or he pulls that trigger.
Yeah. Well, and Ducey called the National Guard when they had those riots in Scottsdale. Mm-hmm. In fact, he kind of chastised that mayor for not being ready when they should have been. Then they weren't ready the second day. Then Ducey just called them. Said, "Man,
exactly." And that's the type of governors. And I was not denouncing our governor. I'm talking about the governor in Oregon and Washington. When they were asked, "Do you want the National Guard?" They said, "No, we don't need them."
Yeah. And the riots continued for a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Still going on, I think.
Still going on in some places, sure.
Yeah. Well, now it's a big poop hole there. Last time Carla and I were there, all the vagrants, they're not homeless, they're vagrants.
Yeah.
And in the streets, pooping in the streets, peeing in the streets, just camping out anywhere they want. It's become such a big problem, they can't do nothing about it.
Oh, well.
Nothing.
They're not going to.
No.
Exactly.
These people like living in a sewer.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Exactly. What I'm getting at, Yuma people, come out, get educated, do an educated vote. We still have children coming across the border going to our schools that are not paying tuition. They're milking us. We're getting milked like a bunch of leeches out there. Let's get involved. Community Christian Church on Highway 95, 6 p.m. and the back building. And we have tickets available for our December 4th meet and greet for the candidates. $15 each, and you have a chance to win a $500 gift certificate at Sprague's. So you can get that AR-15 down payment anyway.
There you go.
All right, God bless you guys.
See you, buddy.
And Mel, God bless the good Lord for blessing you with your health. I do mean that.
I thank him every day.
Thank you very much.
And I hope the good Lord blesses Cecil, because Cecil's been down for a while now.
Yeah, he's up and down. I understand, but I understand he is starting to show some improvement. So.
He should. His biggest foe right now is his diabetes.
Yep.
To get in control of it. But that's what we need. We need some prayers for those people.
Yes,
God bless you all.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, if I get that $500 gift certificate, I'll ask for the Rittenhouse special. I don't know what that is. That's what I want to get. It's Rittenhouse. I started talking about Gozar a little bit. The House is wanting to censure him, and I'm sure
him for what he said. Yeah,
I'm sure they will, because it's political.
Sure.
That's what I mean. It's all politics, Mel.
Sure.
Now, what he did, I would have done myself. Well, he didn't do it. There was a tweet out there that, and I think somebody in his office may have done it. I'm not sure who did it.
Yeah.
But he liked it or something and passed it along or something. And the tweet was an animation of some animation that was already existed, and they just superimposed.
They put his head in AOC's head, or was it that?
Yeah, the two of them and one others.
Right.
Was some other Republican. Well, that kind of silliness has been done forever.
Yeah.
This isn't new. People have taken those animations and put politicians to punch each other or whatever and all that stuff. And this was a animation, a Japanese one where a sword was involved or something.
Well, the thing about this is, though, hypocritically, there have been, how many times have people from the left said things about or to people on the right that were every bit as bad or worse than what this little animation showed? I mean, some of the things that Maxine Waters has said, for example, why hasn't she been censured?
Many of them should be. Well, because they control the House.
Because that's right. She's our girl. You're not going to go after our girl.
Censure isn't about keeping everyone in line. It's about keeping the politics.
It's about keeping your opponents in line.
Yes.
And that's
right.
That's nonsense. That's not the way it's not what it's meant to be.
It has changed.
The system has been totally corrupted.
Well, Gozar took it down, and he said, look, I do not espouse violence or harm towards any member of Congress or Mr. Biden. The video depicts the fight taking place next week on the House floor and symbolizes the battle for the soul of America when Congress takes on Mr. Biden's massive $4 trillion spending bill. That includes amnesty for millions of aliens already in our country and not meant to depict any harm or violence against anyone portrayed in the enemy. And that's the cartoon. The cartoon depicts the symbolic nature of a battle between lawful and unlawful policies, and in no way intended to be target attacked against Representative Cortez or Mr. Biden. It is a symbolic cartoon. It's not real life, which I agree, and that's been done for a long time. There's many of them out there.
If this is all that bad, then almost every political cartoonist in the world, in the country, would have been in jail or brought up on some kind of charges. I mean, I don't care whether you're a Republican, Democrat, or a garbage man. It makes no difference. The political cartoons have, for years, starting with, I guess, Thomas Nash was the first one way back in the 1800s. But the things that they have shown would have brought public censure.
Well, now they're calling it, the Democrats are calling it a graphic video. It's a cartoon.
Yes.
They just had the faces superimposed over it.
Yeah.
And they're the group of Democrats, that are supporting Cortez says, for a member of Congress to post a manipulated video on the social media account depicting himself killing Representative Ocasio-Cortez and attacking President Biden is a clear-cut case for censure. Well, it's political.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Everything's political anymore. That's the problem.
The Edward, my fact checker, said there's places in New York City has banned cashless stores. New York City's banned cashless stores. The opposite of having cashless, they've banned them. I said I can't figure guys out in New York. I mean, what are they doing? And the Democrats are pushing.
I thought everything in New York was cashless anyway. You're allowed to go in and take what you want without paying for it.
Yeah, well, that's San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
That's California. All of California.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And Democrats are pushing bill to stop violent speech. And of course, that's good for them because they have all the fact checkers on what is violent and what is not violent.
Right,
And they're the arbiters of.
It's my decision as to what is and what isn't. So
yes.
So as long as it's my decision,
they're the arbiters of subjectivity.
Yes.
What is violent, what is not violent.
Yeah. Right.
So of course they're gonna push for that. It's a felony now, probably, but not a felony to steal. Well, so you got that, Mel? You understand it?
Yes, sir. Sort of.
Well, you're ahead of me then. We'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
Hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prosthogenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prosthogenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prosthogenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Made to wave the flag, ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays hail to the chief, ooh, they point the cannon at you, y'all. It ain't me, I ain't no senator song.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. Mel's in studio.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
I got a fact checker that says first political cartoonist is accepted to be Ben Franklin.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know he invented that too.
Well, could be.
Man, it goes on to this day. And some of them are pretty darn right, direct.
Yeah.
Or nasty, however your viewpoint is on that stuff. But that's okay. I always enjoy them. But they've been, I've read cartoons that are 100 years old or better, and they were pretty cutting.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, they were. They didn't hold back. Never have, I guess.
Freedom of the press.
Matt Schlapp, you know who he is? He's the chairman of the American Conservatives Union, CPAC and all that.
CPAC.
He is calling for the defunding of PBS. Not the first guy. He's fallen in line with lots of others, but this is over Sesame Street, which I found interesting. Now, when I first read it, I thought it was over the vaccination thing where Big Bird shoots up vaccination shots and says, it doesn't hurt bad or something. That wasn't really it. What it is, and you're familiar with Sesame Street. They've got a lot of characters like, Big Bird and Elmo and Cookie Monster and all that stuff.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie.
And none of them are like they're cartoon characters. They're not depicting anybody specifically. Well, that's all changed. They just introduced the first Asian American character.
Okay.
Why? None of them are depict a race of any kind or anything. They're all neutral. They're all just characters.
Right.
They had the orange skin tone, so maybe they were Trump
or purple.
Purple. Yeah, they were not.
Or blue or green. They were all just different colors. Yeah.
Yeah, with the exception of the old the cranky old guys in the balcony. They were. Caucasian and old.
Yeah. Mel and Russ.
Well, by and large. Yeah, Mel and Russ. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I could do that. I'm in. U.S. Representative Doug Lamborn, Republican out of Colorado, has also introduced a bill to defund PBS, that it's ideology of sexual deviancy and attacks religious liberty. I don't know which one he's referencing, but I'm not a big fan of tax dollars going to PBS. I don't care if they exist, that's fine.
Yeah.
just like any other network should exist. But I think it's an ideology type station that's very liberal, and we shouldn't be paying tax dollars into it.
Well, there's a lot of things we should be paying tax dollars into.
Well, I'm just talking about this one.
As far as this, the thing with PBS too, they keep talking about how they are supported by public funds.
That is true.
By private,
and a big chunk of it does come from public. But then there's also millions and millions of dollars comes federal.
Well, let the public funds pay for it.
Right.
And leave our tax dollars alone.
Yeah. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Okay, guys, how y'all doing?
We're doing well, OG.
Yes, sir. Listen, what Mozart did, it's beyond what a statesman would do. I wonder what William F. Buckley would say about it.
I don't know, but and again, he didn't do it, but he did pass it along. So, same thing, maybe. He endorsed it, probably.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have done that. I think it took some credibility away from him if he wants to be listened to by a lot of people.
I don't disagree. I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't have done either. But I didn't really see the, censor harm or anything. But
No, I don't see the harm in it. But from my own point of view, it just took some credit. See, I've met Paul Gosar up in Kingman, Arizona, sometime back at a restaurant. Because he comes up there, and people from like Havasu, they're real popular up in that area. But I just think it just took some credibility away from him, because he was on a trail on some good stuff. Remember?
Yeah.
And he should have known that the communists would do anything to get him to stump his toe somewhere, and that's what he did.
Well, and that's exactly right. This isn't about the act as much as we can blow it out of proportion and harm him with it.
We can make him look even worse than he is, right?
Right. So he left himself open.
But the big thing is when Biden bragged about the big fixing he was in charge of the biggest fix of the elections ever in the history, remember?
Yes, he did say that.
He bragged about that, yeah. And he wasn't charged, and he wasn't censored by anybody. And when he took the $1 million that he accused of from the mayor in Moscow, wife, that just went away. So there's a whole lot of things that the Republicans had better be looking for, because you want to be known as Mr. Clean all through this crap, because these guys are dirty in the dirtiest laundry. Yep. This is why the military, they have laundry bags turned in once a week to wash their laundry, But this Biden, like I said, calling him president is like calling a burglar house guest. It really is in my book.
Yeah, I agree.
He does not. Can you imagine him in Moscow talking about global warming, and he comes in with his entourage of Air Force One and got the beast went there. And if you've ever been to Glasgow, it's the old part is not made for cars. It's still got the narrow streets and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where they had this meeting is near that area, so the little shrimp is going to be like a big shot, acting big, because he brags. He bragged about Ukraine, a prosecutor Turner, and he just brags about that he's like the big guy, and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
So he had to come in showboating with the Beast, Air Force One, and all the amenities that go with the office, just to be a big shot. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you got to understand, this guy is laughable throughout the world. Putin, he's probably the joke every time they go out to dinner with their friends. Putin, I'm talking about. They got to be making jokes about America. You know what I'm saying? Being led by this dumb piece of crap. And that rigged the election. Well, we are the laughing stock because of this maggot we got in the White House.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, I can call him what I want to because I'm still exercising my First Amendment rights.
They'll never find you anyway. All right, buddy. Thanks.
Well, I wouldn't say never now. No. JFK extended my enlistment in twice. Extended my enlistment, not my tour. My enlistment. He moved my my discharge date.
Yep.
But when my end of my 3 years, remember that, Mel? He moved it.
Yeah, I wasn't affected by that, but guys that I was stationed with here were affected by it. They were not very happy.
No, that's what I said. I was in Bonn, Germany, and Berlin, the 110-mile corridor that's a mile wide, and Brandenburg Gate and Gate Charlie. JFK exploited that. He made it into a crisis. He did. I was there, dude. My poor mother wrote, she said, "Oh, I hope there's no war." I go, "What war?" Everybody was really nice. It was the Stars and Stripes trying to add on to the media that we had here, I guess, blowing it out of proportion. But they made it into a crisis with what they did. Yeah. But they extended me. My discharge date was October the 4th of 1961, and it hit me by 3 freaking days. Now, all of us guys, we did not soldier guys. I remember this very well. Y'all can call me unpatriotic if you want to. We fell out in civilian clothes. That's my discharge date. A lot of us, there were about 10 guys in my unit, and we were MPs. We fell out in civilian clothes. We said, we're done. We had a first sergeant that allowed us to do this. He said, well, no, they're kind of right, you know. and that's what we done. And we were assigned no duties, no nothing. Because for the next 3 months, I rotated on February the 2nd. I got extended from October the 1st until February the 2nd when when my separation papers read. Yeah. So he was half what JFK done. This is back when you had letters of acceptances from colleges. And I had a letter of acceptance. This is when you had to have them to go to college. I had a letter of acceptance from OU. And he caused me to lose that, JFK did. He was no good, guys. He was no good. He was a disruptor of the 17th Amendment is what made us into a democracy. Well, that's why I don't recognize this republic thing as a democracy. It's not intended to be that.
All right. I appreciate it, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
As OG, Mel, gosh, I only got a few minutes. We have 2 guests down in the waiting room that are coming in at 7 also, but they're out there with the Arizona Marketplace. One of the vendors, independent vendors, independent people.
Is Najee in here yet?
No, I've never had him in.
I'll have to see if I can get a hold of that stuff.
Yeah, well, I have talked to him. He says he's going to eventually come in. We will see.
Yeah.
I don't know. His wife says he's coming. We'll see. Ted Cruz, I've been hearing a lot more from him lately. I mean, he's been more vocal.
Yeah, he's been quite vocal.
He's talking about the southern border. He said, sadly, we didn't get an answer to virtually anything when he was talking to Mayorkas, which is true. If you've been watching any of those hearings, you realize Mayorkas just lies and says, well, it's open. Closed. Border's closed.
It's all the basic "I'll get back to you" kind of thing. He
doesn't have an answer for anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't know anything. That's any question asked.
It's like, what's her name? The press secretary. Yeah.
Psaki.
Yeah, Psaki. Well, we'll get back to you on it. We'll get back to you on it. And they never get back to you on it.
No.
And then you have a president. Whenever somebody asks him a question, he just turns and walks away. So,
we said they're intending this catastrophe to unfold, and the only explanation as to why is that they believe as a matter of cross-partisan politics, if you let millions and millions of illegal aliens in, that many of them in future years will vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what
I think that's a common thought.
That's what a lot of people think that.
I'm one of them.
There's nothing new there.
They don't really ever deny it either.
Well, how can they?
I don't know. But he went on a rant the other day that just Mayorkas does not answer questions. And every question they asked him, and they showed a montage of it, he didn't have any idea, doesn't have any idea. Like how many illegal aliens are kids, or how many have been in cages. How many? I don't have an answer to that. I don't have an answer to anything.
Well, it's like when the Attorney General is answering questions. Same thing. I mean, he just talks around everything that...
Well, according to some of the whistleblower now that came forward, he's lied to Congress.
Yeah.
See how that washes out. Yeah, but we're too busy censoring Gozar for a cartoon. I know. AM 560, KBLU. Be right back.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
From
from the 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating Studio. This is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
Both of you had COVID? Yeah. And you survived. When you got here? You got here. The day we got here, I took this to the church. You were Saturday. You were never still to school still? No. Just got a month ago. Both of you talking, or just one? She's the spokesman? Oh, you guys
Here's the news in 60 seconds. YumaDailyNews.com. The Yuma Police Department is now accepting applications for their Citizens Police Academy. The academy is designed to educate the citizens of Yuma about the daily operations of the YPD. Citizens interested in the class can expect to get hands-on instructions from various topics. More info on our website. A multi-agency response has arrested several members of Mexican drug cartels in Imperial County for money laundering. Read the official report from the DOJ at YumaDailyNews.com. In 4 days, Border Patrol has caught 850 more illegal immigrants. Read about the massive roundup, YumaDailyNews.com. Arizona Western College held a Hall of Fame ceremony that honored 5 community influencers in education, including Sheriff Wilmot. Check out the recap and what the sheriff said in a speech, YumaDailyNews.com. Keep sending your news ideas to newsroom at YumaDailyNews.com. For now, that's the news. I'm Andrew Caravella.
Achieve Human Services.
Unique individuals, empowering solutions.
Cost of landscape, maintenance, supplies, and equipment? Thousands of dollars. Time it takes to mow, trim shrubs, trash pickup, and sweep off the walkways? 6 hours. Having Achieve Human Services maintain your business's property? Priceless. Achieve Human Services, helping people with unique abilities realize their greatest potential through employment opportunities. For more information, call Achieve Human Services at 928-341-0335. That's 928-341-0335.
Achieve Human Services.
individuals, empowering solutions.
The holiday season is here. Retail sales are expected to rise 7 to 9%. Like last year, there are still concerns about product availability for some goods. Many will be shopping earlier than expected to beat the shortages. If your business's holiday messaging plans are the same as last year, you may want to rethink your timing. Book your holiday campaigns early to give your business a competitive advantage this holiday shopping season. Learn how to ramp up your holiday shopping messages at yumaadvertising.com.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. It's 7:05 on a Wednesday morning. Mel's with me.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hyundai of Yuma is advertised on the show. America's best warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles, 10 years, 100,000 miles. Veteran-owned business out there on 32nd Street. Just get over and take a test drive. And yes, they have cars, but don't look for the truck, Mel.
Nope.
I was over there just the other day and I asked to see one. They sold quite a few of them. The average time that they stay on the lot was 7 days here. Nationwide, it's 8 days. It's the highest selling vehicle in the nation. And some people are upset about it.
Yeah.
They say it's ugly. I say it's not. So you got to go over and take a... Well, there's a lot of guys that won't even want a full-size truck, like something that's...
Does it do what you want it to do?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be pretty then.
It's not made to haul rock. It's not. It's an adventure vehicle.
Yes.
Is what they call it. So, Mel, you decided to bring in some guests, did you?
Well, I didn't. They from what? Arizona Marketplace?
Arizona Marketplace.
Good.
Bonnie and Ken. I have no idea completely what they do, but I know books are involved, so you would like it.
Oh, okay.
You're a big reader.
I am.
And I was in there the other day talking to Bonnie, actually. Bonnie, get close to that mic. A little closer.
Closer.
There you are.
I'm here.
Now, Bonnie, what do you do for a living?
Well, we have 2 stores at the marketplace.
Oh, you have, okay.
One is mine that I work at is a used bookstore. In fact, I think the only functioning used bookstore in Yuma that takes trades in. We carry mass market popular novels. We have westerns. We have nonfiction, science fiction, Christian fiction.
As you know, when I was in there the other day, I interrupted her because she was reading.
Yeah. Fat chance.
Yeah, something was going on there. I don't know. Do you read them all?
I read the titles and the prices of every single book that's in that store.
Okay, and how many have you read, though? I mean...
Well, I read at least 1 to 2 books a week.
Okay.
But mostly...
That's good.
Audiobooks, because then I can do other working things while I'm listening to the story.
So there's a lot of prescription services on audio. I haven't done those in a while, the audiobooks. Like Amazon has them or something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I do it through my library.
Through the library. There's a lot of places to get them now, I guess.
I'm cheap. And they're free from the library.
I can appreciate that. Now, do you live full-time in Yuma?
We're here 7 months.
Okay.
So we're Arizona residents, and then we go visit the Northwest in the summer.
And that sounds like fun. Do you take the stores with you or anything?
No, they stay here. They have a home out in the foothills at Foothills Storage.
At Foothills Storage?
Yeah.
And then they come out to, and you're at Arizona Marketplace right now.
Right.
How's it been so far? Is it traffic back up? I just saw the Canadians coming in.
Well, the Canadians are coming in. The bookstore is struggling, but we also have a quilt shop, the largest quilt shop and quilt fabric store in Yuma, and it's doing great. It's having a lot of people. Books are struggling and have been for a few years because
audiobooks.
People are reading audiobooks, they're reading Kindles, they're going online. So...
But you still have Mel, guys like Mel.
I like a book.
Well, he needs to come see me then. He may like the book, but I've never seen him before.
Oh, I guarantee he's seen a few books.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Mel has. So he would be one. If you went to Arizona Marketplace, I think you'd stop in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you'd be at the bookstore.
Yes.
And you have quite a big inventory.
About 32,000 books.
It's bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
It wasn't all there, was it?
No.
Okay.
Like when I sell, I go home and I have a cargo trailer that has bookshelves in it that I pull from, and we have books in our garage that are extra to restock what we sell.
Bonnie, how long have you been doing this?
I've been at the marketplace for 11 years.
Okay.
With the books.
And you've been doing books before the marketplace, or?
We had a yard sale at our house in order to survive after free trade came into being, because I was self-employed as a crafter, and I started by buying 3 Foot Lockers of Westerns for $25, and they were full. And I sold one for $75, and I'm like, okay, that's a good turn.
Wait a minute, you sold one book or one locker?
One locker.
Okay.
So I made $50 on it, and then we took them to Quartzsite, because we'd go to Quartzsite and sell. And I sold them for 50 cents a piece, and it was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And then ended up coming to Yuma, ended up at the marketplace, and...
I like the marketplace, but I mean, Quartzsite's kind of fun, kind of quirky.
Right.
You know, it's rock hounds and we're wonderful people.
I know.
I just don't relate.
Well, that's where we started, and then ended up here, and I sold books out at the marketplace, and I told Ken, I says, how about if we don't take any books back to Washington that year?
All right.
And so we made arrangements to blow them out at the marketplace, and the one lady that owned the store where I'm at now came over, and she was just thrilled, man. She was just scarfing up books for her store because she didn't have time to go out shopping for them. And a lot of people here buy a book, they take it to their park,
right,
and leave it in their park, and they don't come back. So I have to keep like up to 15 copies of any books. If I got CJ Box, I'd take it in any format because I can't keep them in the store. I think we're going to have a bet board on how long CJ Box is in the store, because we'll sell out of him probably pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah. I had 34 last year on a Thursday, and by Saturday morning they were all gone.
Wow.
So if you haven't read him, he's a great author.
Mel, do you know who that is?
Nope.
No, okay.
He writes about a Wyoming game warden.
Okay.
So, but he's by far the most popular author in the store. Someone was asking me about titles and stuff, and he says, well, what do you sell them, like 10 or 15 times? And I went to a Lee Child title, and it had sold like 340 times since I put the computer system in.
Okay.
Lee Child, is that Reacher?
Yep, Jack Reacher.
The Reacher stories, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are nice, light, easy reading when I'm not really, when I want to read, but I don't want to read. You know what I mean? I can just, it's an easy read.
Unlike Mark Levin's book.
There you go. That's right. Yeah.
Holy moly, I borrowed that from Mel. and then I had to go buy my own copy because I gave it back to him, but it's still, I have to go through it a few times. I mean, it's a reference material.
It is. It's yeah. See, that's when you're reading.
Yeah, although I like reading his stuff.
Oh.
But you've
got to
be awake.
You got to pay attention to what's going on around you. That's right.
Yes, you do. And you got to start doing a lot of references and stuff. But yeah, he's a brilliant man.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy read.
No.
Now, you also have a quilt store. Now, do you have a lot of people helping with that, or you do all the quilting, or?
Well, yesterday I sewed up 3 samples for the store because they want to change the display to Christmas to get people in.
It's time to change.
It's time to change.
You can ask the girl in my office. She's been telling me now.
Yeah. and so I've sewn the quilts that are hanging out in front of the store, but Ken actually works in the quilt shop, and all the women know him and love him.
Yeah, well, that's really nice. And Ken's your husband, and he's here. He hasn't spoke yet, but you said that he works. Yeah. That's nice.
He gets paid $25 a day.
Wow. So Ken's on an allowance.
Yes.
All right, Ken.
But then we have other women there that are working with him, too.
Well, somebody's got to be in charge.
Yeah.
Ken, get up to the mic. So
here.
you get a $25 a week a day allowance?
I'm damn happy I get that.
I think that's pretty good, actually. Now, do you do any sewing, Ken?
No.
Well, then when she says you work, what's your skill set?
I've got a little room in the back, and I've got all these things I have to do that go out into the shop.
So you're maintenance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely maintenance.
Custodial. Maintenance.
Cardboard guy, all that stuff.
Yeah, we need you to run in town and grab A, and that's fill in the blank.
And I'm good at that.
Yeah, well, every operation needs one, Ken.
Nothing too technical.
Now, you've been doing this 11 years with Bonnie?
Yeah.
You have? You guys have both been together doing it?
At first, it was myself, and then second year we hired a gal.
Yeah.
We've just kind of grown from a 6-foot table of fabric on row H out in the hinterlands at that time. And it was a daily, $20 a day you paid to be there. And I had some books and I had fabric, and it's just grown. It's just been amazing.
It's actually an amazing marketplace. I've liked it since day one. And I know Naja was involved on day one, but then partnership fell apart and it changed hands, and
there's been some silly stuff that's gone on.
We've been there through all of it.
We survived.
And I was glad to see that Naja was back, Naja and Susan.
He's a good man.
Yeah, but Susan's a better operator.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I got that out. Naja will thank me. I think he'll agree. She pays attention to it. I walked around with her the other day, and she knows personally every vendor in there.
Yeah, that's what you have to do when you run a situation like that. You need to know your vendors.
She's checking on them and making sure that there's nothing overlooked or there's something forgotten or something that needs to be done. Clientele out there, the people that come out, and always friendly.
Oh, it's in my store. We laugh a lot. I don't know why, but it's just continuous. It's just all day long.
Now, Ken, because you're a non-essential employee, do you get the chance to go watch the entertainment?
I did. I went there.
While Bonnie's working?
Yeah. I was told to go out to the hot rod show the other day.
Oh, my
grandson
goodness.
came, and we went out and enjoyed that and the burn-offs. And got to breathe all that wonderful rubber smoke.
I miss it. I'm a NASCAR fan, so I like the burning rubber. I do.
It was great. I mean, you couldn't see anything. Couldn't see in front of your nose, but...
That's the way it is. Hey, I got to take a break. No, you take it off, You look like you're packing up.
Yeah, I'm packing up. I'm going to take off today. Today's what, Wednesday? I'll see you Friday morning.
You got it, sir. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
In today's Ag Business Update from AgNet West, a new partnership in the food sector seeks to expand organic produce offerings. More on the partnership after this.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food.
You're going to need our determination, our compassion.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise, we'll be there when you need us. Today, 4-H is growing the next generation of leaders. Support us at 4h.org.
AgNet West Radio Network, your trusted agriculture news provider for the state of Arizona, bringing local, statewide, and national headline news right to you on this radio station. Let our team of Danielle Leal,
Budget revisions put surplus to good use for agriculture.
and Brian German, Salmonella Outbreak Report points to adjacent land use. Keep you informed here, weekdays over the radio airways, on our Farm City Newsday podcast, or online at agnetwest.com.
Mill Valley-based supplier of premium organic fruit, TerraFresh Organics has entered into an agreement to sell majority ownership to Frutura through its Deka and Hackett subsidiary. TerraFresh sources high-quality organic citrus, mangoes, and grapes domestically and internationally, selling to top-tier U.S. customers. Frutura is a sales and marketing network formed earlier this year with the acquisition of Deka and Hackett and Agricola Don Ricardo. TerraFresh has built relationships with organic growers around the world and expects that network to expand because of Frutera's significant international footprint. TerraFresh co-founder and managing partner Greg Holzman said that it's all about accelerating growth and that the company is excited to scale up their operation through the partnership and continue providing the marketplace with the fruit varieties customers expect regardless of season. I'm Brian German for AgNet West Radio Network.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Walmart says its shelves are stocked for the holidays. An update on the market and another snack food provider facing a lawsuit. Those stories next.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-296-6868. 800-296-6868. 800-296-6868.
Walmart today reported another quarter of higher sales despite having to raise many of its prices because of the Biden inflation rate as well as higher wages. Walmart's in-store and online sales rose more than 9%. Executives announced their store shelves will be fully stocked for the holidays, citing the company's huge scale as its way around supply chain disruptions. On Wall Street today, stocks closed higher. The Dow Jones Industrials up 54 points. First, it was consumers suing over not enough tuna in Subway's tuna sandwiches. Now another lawsuit has been filed, charging the convenience store chain 7-Eleven has no actual wasabi in its Wasabi Delight snack mix. Say it isn't so. The lawsuit has so far drawn a no comment from 7-Eleven, which operates 77,000 stores globally. Please join me for all of my business updates right here on this station. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
You may be right, I may be crazy, oh, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. I've got Ken and Bonnie, and this morning we're talking Arizona Marketplace a little bit. You know, they're vendors, but you are independent. You don't work for Arizona Marketplace. You just get space from
No, we pay rent.
You pay.
Yeah. We pay every month.
Sons of a
In
gun.
fact, I need to go pay rent for December shortly.
Uh-oh. I'll tell them you're coming.
Yeah. They'll be happy to get the money.
Sure, yeah. We got to pay for the rent. But I like the facility. Since the day they built it, I thought it was fantastic. It's open air, but it's shaded.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have all got barriers up for wind and whatever, so nothing's going
I even have fans in my booth for cooling on these 90-degree days.
Yeah, it has been a little warm. Not 115, but 90s. It's been a little warm. It's been fine out there. It's a fun place to go walk around. They've always got entertainment out there. I mean, other than Ken.
Right.
we got magicians out there. And musicians.
Right.
And
Musicians
and magicians, I understand. They've been out there too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those. I've seen the musicians.
They've had dancers.
I haven't seen those yet. But my granddaughter dances. She's 4. So I see a lot of dance class because I take her. I've seen so
and
much
that's fun.
dance.
All of those princesses out there dancing.
Oh, it is hilarious.
I bet. We have one of those granddaughters too.
You know, one of those, I've been following her around, or she's been following me forever when I take her to dance class. But the dance is big in Yuma. I mean, it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many dance classes, and it's such a wonderful.
Well, they play
place.
country music, and people get up on the concrete there in the
they got like a
entertainment area and
stage
they
area.
dance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, you also have in your quilt store classroom.
Well, it's not in our quilt store, but across the aisle.
Okay.
We have a classroom space where people can bring their machines in, or if they don't have one, we have machines available for use. And we go all the way from a beginning class where you pay one fee and it covers your fabric and you learn all about how to sew, how to piece a quilt together, and when you're done, after 2 days, you have a quilt top made.
And who gives the classes?
We have local quilters, some of our employees.
It's not Ken.
No.
Would be with duct tape. That was an affirmative no. That was strong.
Yes. He has sewn one item in his life. I made him sew a table runner.
And did it hold up?
It did.
Okay.
We still have it. It's a beautiful Southwest one.
Congratulations.
He
took about a month to get the fingers apart from being.
There you go. So and now, are younger ladies interested in sewing?
Actually, we had a teenager come last year that was great. And that's part of our thing of wanting to have classes and getting the community involved, is because we need new younger people to keep this business going.
Does anybody even make their own clothes or anything anymore?
Mm-hmm. Some do.
I still remember growing up, my mom would have patterns that she'd buy at the local store and fabric and cut them and, and make all that stuff.
Right. We have a friend here in Yuma, and she just sent me a message about, I want to know how to make patterns because she designs clothes. She made me a dress.
Really?
And came and said, no, this will fit you. And I'm going, Vicki, I don't know. And it did. And it fit. And I wore it. And I love it. And it's great. But she likes doing that. She likes designing. She's a college graduate, a very smart person. And they used to be at the marketplace until health issues took them away. And
this whole COVID thing has been bad too. It's been shutting down businesses. Some of them just didn't come back. I don't know where they all are, but and that's in town. That's at restaurants. That's
everywhere.
Marketplace. It's everywhere. We've had some small
people
businesses.
have a hard time understanding that. They come out and they go, like, where are all the vendors at? And it's like, you can't keep everybody, and some of the vendors are, in their 80s. How much longer are they going to set up and tear down every year?
Well, it depends on whether or not you can pay your bills.
Yeah, that's true. No, because I'm pretty sure that some of them go out there just because Ken would still go for the entertainment value and being able to talk to people.
I agree with Ken.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right.
It wouldn't matter if he's making money or not. If he's got if he's got women hugging and kissing on him, he's going to be out there.
No kissing, just hugging.
Friendly place.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, it is. So it's a lot of people out there as hobbyists. Then you think they just like being there? I mean, it's a business.
I think it's a business, but some people go just because they enjoy being there.
I've talked to some of the vendors that actually are year round, and they take it on the road.
Yeah.
And they
we do quilt shows in the summer.
Now
but we're trying to not do so many.
You're semi-retired, Ken, part of the year?
Yeah, more retarded than retired.
Okay, yeah. As long as you're still hugging, buddy. That's all that matters. As long as that's still going on. All right, I got to get back to work. I'm kicking you guys out. So Arizona Marketplace, we got to get the timing down, Ken. You're right. It's Wednesday to
Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday. I was going to get it wrong already. Thursday through Sunday, 9 to 4.
Yeah.
4 o'clock p.m. That's it.
Yeah.
9 to 4.
Yeah.
So it's limited hours. There are food booths available. There's entertainment other than Ken. There's a lot of it.
There's several vendors there that are quite a bit of entertainment.
There they are. It's a friendly crowd. A lot of people out there walking around.
Yeah.
Because it is a nice area to walk around.
It is. It's very
Thanksgiving
very nice.
is coming. When your relatives come, bring them out to the marketplace. Show them a real gem in Yuma.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you both coming in. I'll be back. AM 560, KBLU.
Every couple of days, we got a new storm to make its way into the Northwest, Northern California. Nothing heading our way, though. We're dry the rest of the week. The temperature is quite pleasant. 83 today, 84 tomorrow.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Sponsored by Sanofi Pasteur.
I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
H&R Block has many options to make filing your taxes easy. Our tax pros can help you get your max refund with or without the office visit. Drop in, drop off, or a tax pro can even do your taxes virtually. Send some pics from your phone without leaving home. Just another way Block has your back.
All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
So when you need a hand with your taxes, H&R Block is here for you. Drop off your taxes today at their offices in Yuma, the Foothills, or San Luis, and let their experienced tax professionals help get your taxes won.
Who says money doesn't grow on trees? Cocopah Casino and Resort is shaking the money tree this November. Every Wednesday and Saturday, one guest every half hour will be drawn to play our Money Tree Plinko game. You could win up to $400 in rewards play or $500 cash every half hour. Drawings are every Wednesday and Friday in November from 5 to 9 p.m. Earn entries by playing your favorite slots and table games with your rewards card. For complete rules, see the Cocopah Casino Rewards Club. We love our locals at Cocopah Casino and Resort, South Highway 95 in Somerton.
Be sure to listen Sunday afternoon from noon to 2 for the radio show that talks about all things real estate with award-winning broadcaster Stephen Gasquet. It's everything you need to know about your home, from buying and selling. Brought to you by PhD. When your home needs a professional home doctor, call PhD 344-911-1.
Spectrum Mobile is reinventing wireless again. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month per line. No contracts, no added taxes or fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60% with Spectrum Mobile. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999 or visit a store near you. Offer valid for new customers on 2+ unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Savings based on 2-line comparison of unlimited plans among major national carriers as of 9/20/21. Prepaid excluded. Restrictions apply.
The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs. Wait times at the ports of entry this morning for passenger vehicles in the standard lanes. San Luis is up to a 2-hour wait with 2 lanes open. Calexico West is still an hour and a half with 7 lanes open. And Algodones and Calexico East both have 20-minute waits, 2 lanes open at both ports. Get updated border reports anytime at yumadailynews.com.
We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. There's a better life for me and you.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you, and I have a caller. Good morning.
Russ, I found some mistakes in some addition here in the math. Moderna, Pfizer, and JJ. The media said they're making $65,000 per minute. If you get that out, I get a different number. And they said that computes to $34 billion a year. It doesn't. It's $341 billion a year.
Well, that's a big difference.
Yes, sir. That's why I called you. Don't get caught up in that number, because a lot of people that don't do math, they're getting $34 billion a year, and that's what they extended the number to be. But they started with, they're making $65,000 per minute, and times 60 minutes in an hour, that's $39 million. You go $30 million per hour times 24 hours in a day, that comes out to $936 million per day. Yeah. And multiply that 365 days, you get $341,640 million.
That's quite a bit, and they are making money on this. There's no question.
Oh, well, hey, Anthony Fauci's got his hands. Remember, he gets royalties, dividends off of this stuff. Every vaccine that's created, he gets the dividend off of it. Yeah. I want to know. My reason I called you. I want to know how much money he's making off of this.
I don't know. We know he's the highest paid federal employee, isn't he?
Oh, he's dirty. He's dirty. And no, he's behind that Wuhan, China. See, the Wuhan, China was a biochemist. It was a biochemistry for warfare. That's what the virus is created for.
Yeah.
And these viruses, these vaccinations, I don't think they're working, Russ. I really don't. That's my opinion. Because it's too many people that, like the Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, he was well vaccinated, they said, and he got COVID. There's too many people that's been vaccinated getting this stuff. And if it's a fake vaccine, that's a lot of money to be squeezing out of the taxpayer. Remember, taxpayers are paying this money.
Yeah.
And then this freebie, this infrastructure crap that Biden's throwing on the public, that is to debase the money that's already there. That means the pre-printed stuff is competing with the earned money that's already out there, and that's making the prices go up. Not the time, and then when they're not doing these ports 24 hours, they're stepping on this country is what they're doing.
Right.
There's not enough time on your show to cover everything that they're doing in this country. You know that, Russ.
Well, it's in every venue. Everything they're doing, from foreign policy to economic policy, you name it.
Yes. Now, and this global warming crap, there ain't nothing humans can do. But one day next week we'll cover that. I'd like to do a little time on that with global warming, because I know a whole lot about the orbiting of the Earth and the Sun and all that kind of Galileo. I know a lot, and Carl Sagan. I know a whole lot about the cosmos, dude.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not taught this in school. That's why they're buying into this global climate change crap. It's just crap. Anyway, we'll talk about that another day.
All right, buddy. I appreciate the call. Thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, my fact checker is sending me something. Let me see. Oh, on bookstores fail to market properly. Yeah, I think that's true. Oh, also, when I was talking about Sesame Street, I mixed up Sesame Street and the Muppets. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Ed. Yeah, nice. And he sent me an article. I'd already read this one. I didn't bring it for today, but I should have. The people in Boston are upset. They think it's racist because Boston hasn't hired, or hasn't elected a minority as a mayor. Well, they just did hire their first, or elected their first non-white mayor, and she's Asian. Well, the city's still racist because it's not black yet. Who's the racist now? I don't know. Yeah, it's just, and I think, I think anymore the Asians, and we talked about, I guess it was news. It was big news that there was a lot of racism against Asians, and they were pinning it all on Trump, saying it had to do with Trump saying Wuhan flu or Chinese flu, that it was dangerous for the Asians. There was all these attacks, and they talked about how the attacks were higher than the year before or whatever, but they stopped talking about it for a couple of reasons. One is I think they are now lumping Asians and Caucasians together. So Asians are becoming more of white America, not really a minority, because they realize that they're doing too well in school. And it's okay to have some negative racism towards whites, like example of they have to do better in a test to get promoted than some of the minorities. Because they've got to promote minorities for some reason, and that means if one person's getting a job and it's going to go to a specific minority instead of open to whoever has the best test scores, then of course that's what they call reverse discrimination to people that are Caucasian or white. But I think that, that one school came to mind, and I can't remember which one that was, but the one school that were looking at the test scores so they could show disparity between the minority students and the white students. And when they ran the numbers, there was none. Then when they ran the numbers, the minorities were doing just as well as the whites. So they had to look on how we're going to tweak these numbers because we can't give up on our narrative. So they took the Asians out of the minority bracket. Apparently the Asians were too studious. So they basically labeled them as Caucasians and whites, and I guess got drafted into the white gene pool. And I say gene pool because genes don't really matter. It's about attitude or mentality. But I think that's happening a lot. And then I think it was at Harvard that limited the number of Asians because too many Asians were doing well on the entrance exams, and they didn't want it to become a strictly Asian school. And I think that's the methodology behind it. So they limited the number and stopped accepting Asians after some magical number. I don't know what that number is, but discriminatory against a minority. But that nobody cares because it's just Asians, and now they're kind of like white. You know, you guys don't need any additional help. You're studious and doing well for yourself, I guess. You don't need the government's assistance. I think the whole thing's messed up. I think it's all wrong. We shouldn't be doing any of that stuff. But that's the way it is. And my phone number, 344-5258, and that's for Karen. 344-5258. Psaki has declared that the Republicans are opposing Biden's bill, you know, the $4 trillion bill, because the Republicans are rooting for inflation. Somebody needs to take some economic courses if we can do that. But Jen says, she asked the question, why, when Americans are seeing higher prices, are Republicans united against a bill to lower cost on prescription drugs, health care, child care, and elder care? They're rooting for inflation, is what she tweeted. And that's, I think, misinformation. I'm surprised they shouldn't get blocked, other than they don't block. The current administration. That was the last administration they blocked. And that was hooked to a tweet from a Senator Rick Scott, a Republican of Florida. He says, you can see what's going to happen next. We're going to continue to have inflation, and then interest rates will go up. And he's talking about the economy in general. You know, we got the price indexes going up to over 6%. And we know inflation is heavy as it's been since the 1990s. And the Biden administration is saying if we just print more money, then that'll help inflation. For inflation, it'll help. No, it won't. There's no economic study that would show that to be true. But they explain it that says, and this is according to Schumer, the best way to address inflation is to pass a bill that creates jobs, reduces bottlenecks, and is totally paid for by making sure the wealthy pay their fair share. That's just what we're doing with Build Back Better Act. Well, it's not totally paid for by the wealthy. That's not going to happen. Wealthy will leave. They'll find loopholes, and not going to pay as much as you think. And they could create jobs any day. Just stop paying people to stay home. Stop running jobs overseas. And yes, they've been doing that. And reduce bottlenecks. They've put the bottlenecks in place. And they're flooding the southern border with unskilled labor. They're doing all they can to destroy the nation, so that they say we need a bill to be passed to fix it. First, we got to sink the ship, and then I'll show you how to build back better and bring it back up, which is just crazy. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the index rose 6.2% for the 12 months ending October. Largest 12-month increase since the period November 1990. It's 31 years. Energy rose 30%. Now, you notice Psaki didn't say energy would come down with the new bill, of course, because we're going to continue to destroy energy. Closing pipelines, shutting off fracking, shutting off drilling, depending on foreign oil, and then blaming them for raising the prices, the foreigners. Yeah. It is strictly, I don't know what kind of game is going on, but it's not going to be better for us. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Russ, the number that I saw on fuel, gas is up 50%.
Yes, it is.
And home fuel is up 60%.
Well, and some in the Northeast, it's up even more than that. It's more than doubled.
And I can't think of more people more deserving than the American people. Those 80 million that voted for that piece of crap.
I agree, but it's bad for us as a whole, as a nation. It's going to tear us apart.
The poor people, and that's a lot of the blacks too, are the ones that get hurt the worst. I'm okay.
Always.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'll last as long as the last one standing. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But God blessed me with a good treasure chest of money that I carry around with me.
There you go. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, the poor people are getting hurt, and they are the ones that voted for this clown.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree, buddy. Take care.
You're on your way. You're on your way to 5 attaboys, dude.
Take care, man. Bye-bye. Man, I got 5 attaboys from OG, and he's not easy. He's like Simon Cowell, you know. Oh, and Edward texts me that Harvard removed Asians as minorities, so they're not even minorities anymore. There, you lost that status. There goes your parking spots. So, welcome to the Caucasians, I guess. And I don't know if you remember, the Chappelle Show. The Chappelle Show. They did a skit once. Chappelle did. He's ahead of his times. Where it was kind of like done like a drafted day, like you would have like the football draft or the basketball draft. And everybody's wondering, you know, what team picks up what players. And he did and there was a spoof on that where the different people were drafted into different races. Like Tiger Woods was drafted into the Asians or something like that, which upset the Africans and stuff like that. And it's hilarious to watch because it was ridiculous. But now we're really living it. We're really living it, that your DNA doesn't matter when you're born because you can become male, female, whatever, and you can now be a black and be a white supremacist because white supremacy now is a melting pot of all races. You know, it's very diverse. White supremacy is as diverse as anything. We've got a lot of people labeled as white supremacists. They're not really white supremacists or anything, but not as they describe white supremacy. But they quickly, and I say the left and the progressives will throw anybody in there that doesn't fit their narrative. It's never about race. It's always about the narrative. Because if you're an African American and you're a Republican, they will throw you into the white supremacy group real quickly. So we got to look at it and understand this is not about race. It's about ideology. And they're just using race as a hammer. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Be sure to listen to 560 KBLU every Friday morning from 8 to 9 for Money Talk, bringing you the latest information and changes in the world of finances. Brought to you by the partnerships of Academy Mortgage and Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management.
Time for some smart saving. Make their dreams their reality.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. Whatever your little one dreams of becoming, a doctor, a chef, a firefighter, they're going to need a plan and savings. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan, and you will be able to pay for their future education. Visit az529.gov and start saving to make their dream job come true.
Now that's smart saving.
Last year alone, $55 million was wasted on Facebook advertising and another $48 million on Google by people who thought they knew what they were doing, but found themselves overbidding on search terms, buying wrong audiences, and using ineffective tactics. Wouldn't it be better to talk to someone who knew what they were doing from the start and could give you solid strategies and advice? Get free advice, sign up for our business building e-tips, and take the guesswork out of your marketing plans at yumaadvertising.com.
The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs. Wait times at the ports of entry this morning for passenger vehicles in the standard lanes. San Luis is up to a 2-hour wait with 2 lanes open. Calexico West is still an hour and a half with 7 lanes open. And Algodones and Calexico East both have 20-minute waits, 2 lanes open at both ports. Get updated border reports anytime at yumadailynews.com.
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. Wednesday, 7:49. The phone number, Karen, is 344-5258. Beto O'Rourke is running for governor of Texas. I guess I'm a little surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be, but Beto O'Rourke has been in the politics in Texas for a while, but he hasn't had a lot of success. He's getting a lot of attention, though. I mean, the left seems to love him, and I know when he ran against our Senator Ted, what's Ted's last name? I'll get it in a minute. But he won. He won. He outspent him. He spent like $50 million or something, and didn't win. And he did crazy things like eating dirt, getting his hair cut on camera, just crazy things. He was just a wacko. Now he's running for governor. He's going to be running against Abbott. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air. Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, there
Ted
you go.
Cruz.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Ted Cruz. I was locked up. I couldn't get it till I got OG on the phone. I guess I psychically picked it up as soon as I answered the phone. But he just announced it on Monday. I think O'Rourke is insane. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's obviously getting a lot of financial support. A lot of people are supporting him, according to what he did for Senate. But I would be shocked, although strange things happen. And so who knows how much money he's going to spend. It's going to be crazy to see. School professors on leave, which is always interesting. What they throw, where do you say a prayer or something? No, not this one. This is at the Old Dominion University. Dr. Alan Walker's on administrative leave from the university. And according to their spokesman, Amber Kennedy, because reactions to Dr. Walker's research and his book. So he wrote a book, good for him. It's led to concerns of safety on the campus. He was supporting, this is Alan Walker's, supporting adults that are attracted to children. So yeah, they said, you better go home for a while we discuss this. So he's on leave. Adults that are attracted to children without acting on it. In other words, they're not doing any illegal activity. They're just lusting in their hearts or something. I don't know. The whole thing's creepy. But Alan says it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender, and that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions towards minors. So he's justifying this, I guess. He wrote a book, and that's what the interview was about, where he talked about it openly. A long dark shadow, minor attracted people in their pursuit of dignity. So the colleges asked him to go home. Walker said in his interview, it's never okay to abuse a child. I want to be clear. Child sexual abuse is an inexcusable crime. As an assistant professor of sociology and criminal justice, my goal of my research is to prevent crime. My work is to inform by my past experience and advocacy as a social worker counseling victims. I embark on this research in hopes of gaining understanding of a group that previously has not been studied in order to identify ways to protect children. They told him to go home. I understand that. No, I don't. I don't disagree with the college. Not on that one. Not on that one. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves. I've never really heard much about him. I'm not a governor that I'm familiar with reading about. He's a Republican, and in his new budget for fiscal year 2023, in that proposal, he wants to improve education. That's one of the title lines of the budget is improving education. And he headlined the section of eliminate critical race theory, which we're starting to see more pushback, right, as we know more and more about critical race theory. But I think people that teach critical race theory are kind of denying they're doing it. It's kind of like the Fauci thing. we don't do gain of function. At the same time you're doing gain of function, well, we don't do it. And they just, he just has to say that. We don't do gain of function. At the same time you're supporting it. Because you say, well, we don't call it that anymore. Something that's called something different now. And I think the education system's starting to do that on critical race theory. They're trying to, put sheep's clothing on it or something. I don't know. We said there's been a pushback from radical leftists across the nation to teach children a vicious lie. That this country is fundamentally racist and that your skin color makes you inherently racist. Those two core principles form the foundation of philosophy known as critical race theory. It is destructive to young children. It runs contrary to basic history. Elite power seekers want to be seen as saviors, so they attempt to divide, humiliate, and indoctrinate our children. There is nothing wrong with teaching the truth about America's success and our sins. We must not, however, allow the creeping influence of critical race theory to undermine our children's education. No nation in history has ever done more to advance freedom, prosperity, and fairness. That should not be swept under the rug. It should be celebrated for that reason. I'm once again proposing a $3 million investment in a patriotic education fund from capital expense funds. Okay, I would vote for him. That's a Mississippi governor, Tate Reeves. What a good message. And we need more doing that and taking over on a local level, and to start eliminating some of these issues where you're raising the children as either victims or perpetrators or victimizers. Those that create victims. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they're trying to eliminate racism by being more racist. Yeah. None of it makes sense, but I don't know that it's supposed to. I don't know if it's anything other than just destructive. Let me take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, Russ, sorry to call again, but what you're talking about is the same thing that's going on in redistricting. That they bring that race card up all the time. And it's sad that we have to sit there and listen to it.
Yeah, and everything is based around race, like we're trying to balance the world somehow or undo an inequity. And it's ridiculous. We're a country for the pursuit of happiness. There's no guarantee that you're going to do it. It depends on who works the hardest, who takes care of life and takes care of business. And
the only guarantee that you have in our country, you have the right to pursue your dreams.
That's it.
That's a guarantee. The only guarantee you have, if you strive hard and work hard, you'll be successful.
Yes.
That's a guarantee. Not everybody becomes successful.
No.
We all know first place is the winner. Second place is the first loser. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
We were built on competition. Our country is built on competition. In the beginning of our country, they had like a socialist environment with the Pilgrims, and they almost died.
Yeah.
They almost died.
Yes, they had a Marxist type program where everybody contributed everything they could, but then we split the everything equally, and those that worked the hardest got the same as those that worked the least.
Exactly. Yeah. And human nature does that. That's what human nature does.
Yeah, it was at some point you stop working hard. You just say, "Man, I'm no reason for me to work that extra shift. I don't get anything extra." Exactly.
That's exactly true. But all I'm bringing out, the redistricting is not about race, period. It shouldn't be.
No.
But they have made it to a point, again, Russ, like you said, it's woo me.
Well, yeah, they're all victims, and they want to be compensated for being a victim. But they put themselves in the victim pool.
Now, can you imagine if I went to San Luis, Arizona, and said, there's too many brown people here, like that young lady said about the foothills?
Yeah.
I mean, we're this is in the same relationship with Paul Gosar and his cartoon.
Yes.
What they've done in the past to President Trump and what he's done, it's the same thing as that young lady saying the foothills full of white people, and me going to San Luis saying this is full of brown people.
And I think they'll probably sanction Gozar because it's all politics. It's nothing to do with common sense. Hey,
exactly.
I am out of time, my friend. I got to run.
God bless you, buddy.
Take care, man. Bye-bye. I will be back tomorrow, AM 560, KBLU.
Someone told me long ago there's a call.
From the 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating Studio, this is News Talk 560.